You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.
Hello and welcome to Sports Tips UK. I'm Marcus J. Richardson.
And I'm Adam Thorne.
Today we are going to talk about the Dillian White fight, which is coming up soon.
What was that?
We're going to talk about the Dillian White fight, which is coming up against Lucas Browne. Now, Adam, talk to me. Lucas Browne's unbeaten. Dillian White's only lost to AJ. This should be a good fight.
But then again, Dillian White's last fight should have been a good fight, and for some reason it wasn't.
He's been out for a bit, though, hadn't he?
Yeah, well, look, these things happen. He still got the W. I mean, he was in control the whole fight against Hellenius. So, move on. Lucas Browne is coming to win, and Dillian White is obviously hugely touted. A very good fighter. He's very unorthodox. Carries tons of power, you know.
He rocked AJ.
He got under AJ's skin for that fight, and he's very, very good at doing that. Now, I like watching him fight, and that's all you can ask for from a boxer. He's favourite to win, Dillian White. It's two heavyweights, both with brilliant record. What the fuck are you doing?
You might sponsor us.
Lucas Browne is coming to win. He's had 25 fights, 22 knockouts. He's been a world champion, don't forget. He went to Russia and took on Ruslan Chagayev in his home. He carries power as well. He's not as light on his feet as perhaps he could be. He's 38 years old, so he might be...
Don't do drugs. Didn't he also get in trouble after that fight?
He did, and he was banned for it, and that's why he's had quite a long time out. He's only fought since winning that title in the...
Well, what was his excuse for that, though?
The excuse was that he said his water was spiked after the fight that they gave him, or before, you know, someone basically in the Chagayev camp or in Russia spiked his water.
Not to say that Russians like to poison people, because they don't. I know lots of Russians.
Yeah, so he said that, and that's the reason that Tyson Fury took his own water into the Klitschko fight, because he feared the same happening to him. But that was back in 2016. He's only fought once since then. He's trained by Ricky Hatton.
Is Lucas Browne?
Yeah.
Is he?
Or what he was. I don't know.
So is he based in the UK then?
No, it kind of depends. I think he sort of splits his time between here and Australia, but he's in the UK at the moment, obviously in the UK at the moment, and has been for this camp, I think. The real prize here isn't the WBC Silver Title. It basically is an eliminator. Whoever wins would be moved into a mandatory position.
Right.
Most likely.
Then what happens to the silver belt?
Yeah, if you get the chance to go and fight for the other one, then you vacate that and then somebody else has a go. It's like
Of course.
It's a pretty pointless strap. I know boxing is littered with belts, and silver to me is just...
But you understand why I'm asking these
Yes,
questions?
I do understand completely, and I agree with you. But you know as well as I do, if someone's made mandatory for the title, that doesn't necessarily mean that whoever's champion is going to fight them, because it's boxing and you...
Of course not.
Business.
And each branch of DW, WBA, WC, WBO, IBF, they all have their own rankings, which is ridiculous. So
Yeah, I mean, this
means...
gets into a whole other area of talking about the governing bodies.
But the point I was just about to say there, though, he has the WBC silver title if he wins, but then he might not be ranked second in any other thing other than WBC.
Correct, but he probably would still have a high ranking. Whoever wins this silver belt would then be expected pretty much to fight for the WBC belt. Now,
Who's the holder of the
well, that's what I'm
WBC?
getting at. Deontay Wilder. Matchroom were trying to make Wilder
Of course.
versus... I don't think Wilder would take it. He said I'm not fighting Matchroom's off-casts, is what he called him, something like that, cast
But what can the WBC not make him fight?
The WBC will go with whatever makes most money, and categorically AJ versus Deontay Wilder is the biggest heavyweight fight there's been for yonks. It will make $1 billion probably, something like that.
I mean, arguably, there's a couple of rematches in that. That could be a...
And yeah, there'll be rematch clauses. If AJ beats Wilder, Dillian White is the mandatory or there or thereabouts, you know that they'd make a rematch. The amount of money it would make, it was a good fight last time.
So that would mean, assuming AJ beats Wilder, hypothetically, you then have two rematches for AJ on the cards in Wilder and White, and also Fury should be back by then as well.
Yeah.
So actually, it's very exciting heavyweight
Yeah,
prospects.
the heavyweight division is incredibly exciting at the moment, and it's great. That's great for boxing. That's what boxing...
Lucas Browne's the sort of guy that even if he lost against Dillian White, he could, he'd only have one and he's in the loss column.
One in the red.
He's a sort of, from the way he bangs, he's the sort of person he could knock out someone quite big.
He's a nice guy as well, Lucas Browne. Like, he's very affable, quite charming. You hear him on the podcast, down to earth. I quite fancy him to at least scare Dillian White in this. For fuck's sake.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
This is going to be a great fight. You
Can
can
I
guarantee...
Can I just ask you, what are you wearing?
It's my old rugby drill top.
I mean, I can tell it's old.
Big shout out to the brush. It is quite old.
It's got one of those collars that's made of, like, chevrons.
You look like you were rubbing my chin then.
Don't fucking...
It's the body snatcher against Big Daddy.
Who's going to win?
Brown against White.
Who's going to win?
You struggle over my joke. Brown against White. One's called Brown, but is White.
We got the joke. Who's going to win?
I fancy Brown to cause an upset.
Yeah, you fancy Brown to cause an upset? Oh,
do.
there you go. Check the odds there. There's for a Brown, what?
So that'll help your ACCA. I mean, it's
On
going to be
points,
close.
you
It's
think?
going to be close. No, I think it might stop him.
Okay, so there you go for a TKO
If
or
it goes,
a KO.
if they go for one another, I think Brown could stop him. If White comes to box, White can outbox him. But you never know. Sometimes fighters get old overnight. Their matchmaker knows something that he's not as sharp in the gym, something like that, and that's why they've gone. Yeah, let's do it. But I think, based on the evidence that I've seen of him in the past, he's always been a bit slow-footed. If they trade bombs, I could see him winning a gunfight. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Thank you very much, sir.
If they trade bombs, he could win a gunfight.
We've got the odds on the right-hand side there, or your left-hand side, whatever side it is, for both all eventualities of a normal win, and we'll also whack in at some point. You probably saw it before. Rewind. Just rewind, because I had it there before, what we were talking about. Great. Moving on same night, who else is fighting, Adam?
Also got the British lightweight title fight between Scotty Cardle, who's getting his shot at Lewis Ritsen. Now, Lewis Ritsen fought only about 3 weeks ago and knocked out Joe Murray. This fight's come around quickly.
Quick as.
Defending his title again.
How quick did you beat Joe Murray?
First round.
Okay, so it's not too bad then.
So first round stoppage, yeah. Like
3 minutes fight, you know.
Scotty's a great fighter, but Scotty lost to Robbie Barrett. Robbie Barrett was stopped by Lewis Ritsen. Lewis Ritsen, he's only had 14 fights. He's got 8 knockouts. He is a real talent, and I think that the fact that they're getting him out again so quickly tells you how much they rate Lewis Ritsen at
He's
Matchroom.
basically being fast-tracked at 3 Matchroom.
Yeah, they're just getting him through the fights. I think he's close to keeping the British belt, so they'll probably try and get him to British lightweight title out.
So you think he's going to win this then, Ritsen?
Yes, yeah, I think it's very deliberately been set up.
It's almost like the cool version of Richardson.
What, Ritsen?
Ritsen.
Yeah,
Ritsen. Don't know where that was from. I apologise to anyone offended. So moving on, Ritsen and Brown are the two you've predicted so far. We will stick a double up there briefly now.
I think Brown helps the ACCA.
Yeah, but they are outright. You can obviously get better odds if you go for more specific bets, but that's just for outright wins there. Moving on then, final fight.
Final fight is
fights.
one I'm really excited about. Frank Buglioni.
Oh, we've spoken about him before on
Yeah,
Sports
I love Frank. Entertaining fighter, big puncher, comes across well, affable guy, big support. He's fighting Callum Johnson. Now, they were supposed to fight last year, but Callum Johnson got injured, basically. Callum Johnson's not fought for a couple of years. Beat Wilberforce Shahipo? Wilberforce Shahipo? I can't say it.
Brilliant effort there.
Anyway, he beat Wilberforce Shahipo. He stopped him in the 9. Again, Callum Johnson, unbeaten fighter. Frank's got a couple of losses on there. He lost to the cherry taker, Sergei Kamitsky, who had a bit of a habit of coming over and taking British fighters' first losses. Then he was beaten in the shot for the world title against Fedor Chudinov, who, of course, George Grove stopped to win that belt. Since moving up to light heavy, though, Frank's looked really good, looked really decent. And again, this is another really good card. I mean, the Scotty Cardle one maybe less so. I still think it will be a good fight, Scott Cardle, but I don't think it will be a 12-round good fight. I think you're going to see a couple of real explosive fights between DILLIAN WHYTE and Lucas Browne and Frank Buglioni.
So if you had to put your penis on the line, who would you go for in that last fight?
I'd go for Frank again. And
Frank Buglioni.
Yeah,
so actually, Buglioni, Ritsen and Brown in a treble. As you see there, not 3 bad at all.
And there's a few fighters that we know all about, really talented guys on there. Chris Congo.
Okay, he's quite an explosive guy.
And Richard Riakporhe.
I mean, this is going to be their first time at the O2.
They're both brilliant, and they're both charismatic, nice guys.
Is this on Sky?
Yeah, it's on Sky. So
okay, so it's for them. This is their biggest night of their
Yeah, this is the
so
biggest, the most exposure they've had so far. Wish them both the very, very best of luck.
Yeah, good luck.
Really enjoyed interviews. I'm just gutted I won't be able to interview them anymore at the ringside.
Oh, did you see the little lump in his throat then? Bless him. I'm sure you can nip round to their house for a brew and a quick interview.
This could be the one I've got most wrong of all of our videos, by the way.
Brilliant. So
I've stuck my neck out on this one quite a lot.
So basically what you're saying is don't put too much money on this.
Yeah, we'll never put too much money on a bet.
I mean, actually, with all of Adam's predictions, do bet low. But all joking aside, though, do bet responsibly. When the fun stops, stop. Honestly, no word of a lie, I stick 50p on things. Just makes it really a little bit more enjoyable to watch and gets you, a few extra pints down the pub, but you don't need to go mad with it. Thanks for watching. I've been Marcus J. Richardson.
And I've been Adam Thorne.
Until next time.
You thought I fell off? You're smoking something.